Hi, I'm Professor Goins. Welcome to the Math Professor's YouTube channel. If you're looking for videos explaining topics in college mathematics, you're in the right spot, so go ahead and click the subscribe button. That said, let's get into the current video. I'm going to talk about the idea of an infinite series. What is an infinite series? Well, as a reminder, let's talk about the building block for this concept, that of a sequence. A sequence we think of as one of two ways. So a sub n, let's say, is just n over 2. So let's say that this sequence is given by n over 2. Well, what are the terms of the sequence? A1 would be 1/2. A2 would be, so it would be 2 over 2, which is 1, and then a sub 3 would be 3/2, so on and so forth. So sometimes we think of a sequence, we kind of use these two concepts interchangeably. The sequence is the expression, or the sequence is the list of numbers. So 1/2, 1, 3/2, etc. We don't combine the terms of the sequence, we just have them as a list. Now let's see, what would we mean by a infinite series? So this would be an infinite list of numbers. Now let's look at the concept of an infinite series. So for example, let's say I start with a sequence. A sub n is given by, let's do 1 over n squared. Okay, so my sequence is 1 over n squared. From that, I'm going to create a second sequence. So I'm going to create a sequence from this sequence, and here are the terms. Let me clean this. Yeah, that should be fine. So let me create a sequence from that one. I'm going to label it S1 and then S2, so then I'm going to give you S3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the terms of the sequence that I'm going to label as S, and then we're going to generalize it here as Sn. Okay, here's the first term of this new sequence. I'm going to take A1, which of course in this case is 1 over 1 squared, and of course that reduces to 1, but I'm going to leave it. S2 is going to be A1 plus A2. In other words, 1 over 1 squared plus 1 over 2 squared. The third term in this new sequence is going to be A1 plus A2 plus A3, which again is 1 over 1 squared plus 1 over 2 squared plus 1 over 3 squared. So you can see that these are adding up the first term, the first 2 terms, the first 3 terms, the first 4 terms, etc. Therefore, S sub n would be A1 plus A2 plus ... plus A sub n. And of course, we can write this using summation notation, as this is the sum from k equals 1 to n of A sub k. Okay, so notice that the subscript here is the upper index value. Okay, so it's just the sum of the terms from 1 to n. Now, these terms of this new sequence here are called partial sums. And this is called the sequence of partial sums. Okay, so with that in place, the question is, does this sequence of partial sums converge or diverge? Okay. So does the sequence of partial sums that one looks like it's getting kind of light, so let me try to switch to a different marker here. Does the sequence of partial sums converge or diverge? Okay. So that's a basic question that we ask whenever we have a sequence, is does it converge or diverge? Well, how do we determine if a sequence converges or diverges? Well, one way to do that is to take the limit at infinity of that sequence. In other words, we're going to look at the limit as n approaches infinity of s sub n, right? We're looking at the limit of the sequence of partial sums. Well, the expression for Sn is given by that summation, so this would be the limit as n approaches infinity of the summation from k equals 1 to n of Sn. And then symbolically what we do is we say, since n goes to infinity, I'm just within the summation, I'm going to drop the limit notation and replace the upper index value with an infinity symbol. So this means this would be equal to the sum from k equals 1 to infinity of Sn. And that is, oh, sorry, matched up. AK. My apologies there. And this right here is called an infinite series. Okay. In subsequent videos, we will look at how to determine whether or not an infinite series converges or diverges. This was just a quick video to show you what an infinite series even is. So please stay tuned, click the subscribe button, and thank you for watching.